Hello my friends and welcome to 7 super short scary stories from Reddit. If you're in the mood for some terror in small doses, then you've clicked on the right video. Here's 7 super short scary stories from Reddit authors. I watched the synthetic parasite crawl into my arm through the VR headset. It seemed so real. I actually slapped my arm to try and kill it. The medication I had been on always seemed to numb me to the world, so I went off of it the week before the headset was getting delivered. I just wanted to feel something, you know? The senses have to be sharp if you really want to get the most out of it. It was just a game though. Of course I know that. It's just code. It doesn't really exist. But here I am, 3 days later, with my arm on fire. There are no marks, at least not visible to others. Robert played the game too. He hasn't mentioned anything strange. Jennifer seemed to have fun with it. I haven't told her yet. I don't want her to think any less of me than she already does. Every night I see it in my dreams. Blue electric veins glow under its thin, slick, silver metallic skin. I'm back on the Thorazine now, for my schizophrenia. It's not working though. It deadens the rest of the world, but not the bug. I still feel it, pulsing and crawling inside me, working its way up into my brain. I have to start now, while it's still in my neck, before it's too late. I started to call Robert, but there's no time. I have to start cutting now. I have to get it out. It's 3:03 p.m. I'm at work refilling my cup of coffee. Janice looks nice today. She asks me about my weekend. I'm about to tell her when my phone rings. I go to answer it. The number isn't saved. I wonder who it could be. I answer. Hi, this is Jeff from Soul Surveys calling to ask if you're interested in answering a couple questions for us this afternoon for a chance to receive a $100 gift card to Red Lobster. My wife loves Red Lobster. It's 8:57 p.m. I'm making love to my wife. We drank a bottle of wine with dinner. I love the way her hair looks when she puts it up in that certain way, how it angles her face. My phone rings on the nightstand next to us. The number is not saved. My wife gets upset, demands me to answer. I comply. Hi, this is Jeff from Soul Surveys calling to ask if you're interested in answering some more questions. I hang up. It's 12:14 p.m. There's a huge merger to be discussed over lunch. I get there early to go over my notes. Mr. Anderson, the man I'm supposed to impress, is the first to arrive. I stand. We shake hands. We sit. We small talk. I'm nervous. My phone rings, interrupting Mr. Anderson mid-sentence. I'm hugely embarrassed as I stand and tell him it must be the others explaining where they are. I ask him to excuse me for a moment as they answer. Hi, this is Jeff from Soul Surveys. It's 6:45 a.m. Didn't get much sleep last night. Had a dream my phone kept ringing. I still hear it. Oh wait, it is ringing. I'm starting to recognize the number. Starting to memorize what he says. Hi, this is Jeff from Soul Surveys. It's 7:32 a.m. Staring at my phone. Waiting. Knowing. ringing, answering. Jeff. Hi, this is Jeff from Google Soul Surveys. Address, car, keys, drive, Jeff, Jeff. It's 4:11 p.m. Jeff won't be calling me anymore. The nomad stares at the sky with curiosity. The wounds inflicted from the day before, a mere bad memory. The nomad felt safe under the cold of the endless sky, the way it seems to be an expanse of space going on forever. In an odd way, it provided comfort to the simple woman living in a world of death and decay. If the woman could speak, she would have commented as to how idiotic the Seventh Tribe has been, how they attempted to control the powers of the old. Her hands, bloody and bruised as they were, gradually raised upwards, caressing the cold, dripping sky. If the nomad could speak or even think, it would be one of worry for her husband, of how she so desperately wanted to caress his scarred face. But she didn't do the things she wanted to do. The wounds were too great and far too numerous. If the woman were to look down a little, she would have seen her husband's hand lying limp under the fur of the beast that now lay dead. How stupid had they been, she would have thought, that they could actually control the creatures that were summoned. How stupid had the leaders been to accept these horrible creatures with open arms. She would have continued. How stupid must they have felt as the beasts began to dig their horrible, jagged teeth into the virgin flesh of the leaders. She would have concluded. Oh, how the children screamed and screamed as the creature began to feast upon the flesh of their parents. How the blood splattered amongst the weeds surrounding the colony. If the nomad were to look to her left just a little, she would have seen her colony set ablaze by the fires. She would have witnessed the bodies of the children laying limp in piles among piles. She would have seen the beast searching for their prey, searching for her. She would have screamed, cried, anything so that she could be with her colony again, with her husband. But she didn't. We were just kids. We didn't know what we were doing. We used to walk the tracks, and we went a few miles farther than we were supposed to. The gate was in the back of a field, behind a barn. It stood crookedly between two crumbling stone columns, a rusty iron relic with no walls to give it meaning. Just a gate, useless and obsolete in the overgrown grass. We opened it. Of course we opened it. Wouldn't you? If you came upon a closed gate with your friends on the summer afternoon. We didn't mean to. We didn't know what would happen. What the gate was keeping out. How could we know? So, yeah, it's my fault. Well, our fault. But I'm the only one left. I don't blame them. It's hard to listen to the screams and know it's because of you. It's hard to live in hiding. It's worse at night, so I keep the lights off. It's hard to be brave in the darkness. In a minute, I'll open the door and walk outside, and the monstrous things we unleashed will swarm over me and tear me to pieces. I don't deserve that. What I deserve is to live a long life, alone with my crushing guilt, watching the slow, brutal death of humanity. I don't deserve to look away. I caused this. I'm responsible. But I can't look anymore. I'm sorry. She always went into the grocery store around 8:50 p.m., just before closing. The men in matching red aprons saw her approaching the seafood area and looked at each other. "Stay close, bro. I'll need your help with Fish Girl." They thought she didn't hear, but she did, and responded kindly by smiling and offering a friendly wave. "Your usual, miss?" She nodded. The men pulled out all of the salmon, trout, and halibut they had on display in the freezer that day, wrapped it in heavy paper, and placed it in a bag. "A party or something?" he asked as he printed the sticker, $11.99 a pound. She shook her head no. "Just really like fish?" She shook her head yes. "That's cool, yeah," he said with a shrug, finalizing the task. "I hope this haul lasts you a while. It should." When she returned home with the fish, she ran a warm bath before dinner. She listened to the water fill. She dimmed the lights. She lit a candle. Beechwood. She placed the chunks of the fish meat into the water and smiled as some of it dissolved in the liquid and floated around the tub. She stepped in, watching the little flakes, the little pieces of meat fall in soft chunks like skin, like scabs around her. Her legs washed away with the moving water, and soon her violet scales reflected the small flame of the nearby candle. Her fingernails peeled off and were replaced with something sharper, more efficient. Her teeth, one by one, turned jagged, serrated. She floated then in the water, her nocturnal tail, too big for the tub, struggling for room but enjoying the release. She began pulling up the mushy chunks of fish meat and feasting. She was hungry, starving really, and water and saliva in chunky fish meat fell from her mouth and down her body. She just couldn't keep up with herself. She hoped there wouldn't be any of the small, missed bones along the meat this time. She didn't like when they cut the roof of her mouth. Exhaustion taking over, my eyes starting to burn. I can't go to sleep. The bruises that cover my body remind me why I must stay awake. The kids are sleeping peacefully, the most peaceful they've been for as long as I can remember. I must keep them safe. He's going to find us. It's only a matter of time. The living room light is burning my eyes. The couch, so comfortable, lulling me into a sense of peace. It has been so long since I slept at least a restful sleep. I closed my eyes only for a moment wanting the ache to stop. Only for a moment, and my mind is screaming as my heart starts to pound in my chest again, fear taking over as my eyes shoot open. Was that someone walking up the step? Oh God, did he finally find us? I glanced down the hall to where the kids sleep, straining to hear. Did one of the kids just move in their bed? Am I finally losing my mind? I can hear my heart beating in my chest. I swear I just heard the screen door being opened. I clutch my phone to my chest, 911 dialed, just waiting for me to hit send. Tears start to streak my cheeks. It feels hard to swallow. My chest feels tight. It's hard to breathe. I know he's going to find us. It's only a matter of time. I think I've finally beaten her, after all those months of torture. Cowering in fear, I have destroyed her. Now her cold, gray eyes, made of the finest glass, stare at me. The final remainders of her wicked, impish nature. Her eyes are the best feature of her fractured face. Jagged cracks run up her left cheek, like so many scars. Clara sits on the crooked rocking chair, seemingly docile, but I am cautious for a few more seconds. Whoever says dolls need humans to come alive didn't know Clara. Slowly, I approach. For once, her eyes don't follow me, not even when I'm close enough to fog them up. I can see now. Their fire is gone. The entity within has left. Smirking, I flick her nose. Finally, it's over. The shuffling of tiny feet in the middle of the night, the shifting positions, the whispered conversations between my little sister and it. Clara had tried to alienate my sister from me ever since Meg got her for her birthday. Once, Meg looked up to me. Now, she'll barely look at me. The doll had whispered too many secrets to her. Clara loved to cause trouble, making messes by breaking my stuff, tearing up our cushions and scribbling on the wall. At first, our parents thought Meg did it, but they blamed me after Clara struck again with all three of them while we were out. Of course, they didn't believe me when I told them about that cursed doll, as if I would stoop as to writing in crayon on the wall. That wasn't enough for the spirit or demon or whatever you'd like to call it. I could hear her late at night, pitter-pattering between Meg and mine's rooms, keeping its eyes on us. Just one more way of separating us. But that's all in the past now. Claire's gone, and I can resume my plans. Nice try keeping me from my sister, Clara, but I'm still going to kill her. That's all the time I have for today, my friends. I hope you're having a wonderful day or evening. I'm Amori. Now, listen to the spooky tunes.